going on? Welcome to Teasing the NFL Super Bowl wrap-up week. Andrew Chang here, and I'm Daniel Saludo. It was a very, very, very entertaining Super Bowl, to say the least. It was a bit of a nail-biter, quite to say, and we'll get to that in a minute. But just I just want to quickly touch on just how good the Super Bowl was, because I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I actually did too. Anything was better watching that last Super Bowl that we had to endure.
Yeah, last year's, of course.
Whew, man, but this one definitely had its highlights of defense and definitely its highlights of offense too. So it was a little bit of everything, which is what you want to see in a good game, And there could have been a bit more scoring, but.
No, it kind of went about as I said it would be. Kind of a little bit lower scoring, i.e. under hit. So
looking into our crystal ball, kind of like seeing what we did well on. Yeah, I think Danny's got the Bible of player props.
Yeah, we'll go through some of the player props. I originally wanted to go through every single player prop that hit and missed, but I was like, forget it, it's too much. And we actually watched it as restaurant at Sage 400, and I actually was looking at this booklet more than I was the game because I kept tracking stats.
He was working, and I was just enjoying.
I was enjoying it too. I was sitting there enjoying all of it. Maybe not as much of the halftime show per se, but I know it was extra popular.
That was so good.
Yeah.
I mean, like the drink and the halftime show. It was all very good. It's all very good.
But so we both had a prediction of in a teaser we would take KC, which felt pretty standard for us, +5, or we got the line. We actually got -1.5 to tease that to +4.5. Now I actually personally did not take the teaser because I said in the video, if you like KC enough, just take them on the spread. -1, -1.5, even 2. So I actually didn't bet a teaser in this case. I just bet KC -1.5, which went, of course, very nicely. Although I was a little panicky.
Yep.
I was a little panicky. Andrew's next to me at the restaurant. I'm like, all right, here's the money I owe you.
And I was just like, hey man, I don't need that bad mojo. It's negative energy, and I tell this man all the time I think he gets scared and nervous right when he puts the bet. It's oh my God, I cannot believe it just started and they got to score and this and that, blah, blah. I was like, Danny.
It felt good to start.
Calm down. Danny, calm down. And, it was such an overwhelming feeling when, you watch the Super Bowl, you know what these two teams are playing for. And I always thought, beginning of the Super Bowl, that KC had the better story, and
they both had good stories. I don't think they had one had a better story than the other.
21 years for Andy Reid, that's a good story.
That's
man.
true. I mean, I've been living by that. I said it. This is Andy Reid. This is his thing. It really should be.
And basically, you got a young up and comer, maybe the future face in the NFL. That's what they were saying.
I definitely think he's the future of the NFL.
And then he was there last year. He was just
close.
He was just that close last year, and he couldn't make it. But this time he knocked on the door and bust that baby down. And it was like, yep, I'm here.
It took him 3.5 quarters, but
I'm
they got
here.
there.
Just like when he scored that touchdown, I'm a bad man. The mic'd up sound clips are on YouTube, so
you can look for them.
Yeah, it's been pretty intense.
So our prediction was KC +5 with the teaser. I still thought the under was the better choice. He decided the over was the better choice. Barely got saved in the last minute. Got saved because he actually bet that. You bet 2 units?
2 units.
2 units on KC +5 or 4.5 in this case, and then over, was it 48.5? No, 47.5. Because we got the line at 40. We got the line at 53.5.
Yeah. Firstly, I like to thank Damian Williams, which should be the MVP.
Yeah,
you're the
Williams really should.
You're the MVP in my book.
Yeah, because that dude had a really good game. Not a monster game, but I mean, if you really think about it, he only had maybe 2 runs of negative or 0, and then he had the winning touchdown and he had the game-sealing touchdown.
But you called it, though. There's a lot of things that we called on this show. Danny was the first one to say, hey, man, they're going to utilize the run plays.
Absolutely.
And I was just like, I don't really see that.
I do.
I mean, they had a lot of offensive weapons, and, San Fran's defense was expecting all that stuff. So they played out their course, but they gave Patrick Mahomes way too many opportunities.
Yeah.
And, he figured it out.
He figured it out. They figured it out.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, they figured it out in the fourth quarter. They're like, okay, we kind of have to do this a little more of a hurry up. Let's get out of kind of the conservative play. Let's go for it a little bit more, and that's pretty much what they do.
On the flip side, though, how do you think that that coaching situation's like? You're just like, okay, after 2 Super Bowls ago.
Yeah, three. Yeah,
Oh,
actually 3
man.
Super Bowls ago. But yeah, after
Wait, was it 3? No.
Well, it's 3 years ago. Okay, so 2 Super Bowls ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shanahan again takes his foot off the gas pedal, and you have to question why he just didn't keep running the ball, which was so effective, and then that chews up time, and that gives them probably the last possession of the game, which gives them a chance to seal it or go for the go-ahead. Now they had a chance, obviously, because Garoppolo had Emmanuel Sanders on the break.
Whoa.
And I called it, and I said
I think we called that one.
Not that I said he's going for it, and I said he is open. Sanders is open, and he threw him over by three yards. I was like, there it goes. Yep. That's the game right there, and that was it.
I think I was one of the, I had to retract some of my statements. I thought Jimmy G was going to be exposed in the Super Bowl.
He kind of was.
He kind of was, but at the same time,
his solid game.
His performance was not bad against this KC defense that I think really surprised everybody.
Not me. I knew they were good.
Not you, not us. And I barely got the over.
Yeah.
I was so close.
Damian Williams saved your skin.
Yes.
Saved your skin, dude.
However, for the over, and I felt like KC would have found a way to win before the first half was over. I think KC could have used a couple timeouts. Oh, not KC.
San Francisco.
San Fran could have used a couple timeouts, and I feel that Shanahan is getting a lot of flack on that because
he should have. I mean, the truth is they got to before the 2-minute warning happened. They had 3 timeouts, so they actually had a chance to call another timeout, that's up to them. But when they got out of the 2-minute warning and they ran the ball and they took their sweet time,
just no sense of urgency.
I was like, you guys realize that you guys aren't going to be able to sustain this that offense and be able to stop them every time. You have to kind of outgun them essentially.
You got to.
So I was very surprised that they went really conservative, and I told them, I said, they may regret not kind of going for it because they got the ball in the second half. So I mean, if you put up a score and you take a lead, even if it's just a field goal, you take the lead and you get the ball, man, that's like really nice. Now they had a chance to if Kittle doesn't push off, but I thought it was a huge mistake not to try and push forward. You didn't have to bomb it out per se, but you could have gotten to the line quicker and ran another running play. That would have been fine.
Yeah, just making smart plays and playing situational awareness football. Running to the outside, not kneeling. This is the biggest stage. This is the last game of your season. And you're just going to tell me that, all right, we have enough time. We have enough time.
No, you don't.
That was a very Andy Reid-like mistake that Andy Reid's have learned before.
It's a very Shanahan mistake.
I mean,
it's a very Shanahan
but
mistake.
yeah, I was just like, oh man. And in the meantime, while we were watching, I was just like, I want them to score again because I need this over. This over didn't look too good.
It was 10-10. And yeah, it's like, that over is not looking good, but that under is looking good.
Oh, did you want to tell them?
Yeah,
tell
the other part of my bet. So we did you have 400 or 300 out there?
I had 300 out there.
Okay, so we both had 300. We both had 3-unit bets.
Chump change, man.
So when we got the lines, obviously, I thought the best choice was to go with KC minus 1.5. So I was like, okay, I'll take. I was planning on betting three units anyways. But when I saw the first half, I saw over under 25.5. I was like, oh man, that's nice. That's
that could happen. That could happen. I could see that going. I could see that
easily happen. That's 13-13.
Oh,
I was short a touchdown.
Yeah,
But I mean, it made a lot of sense, and it was on the way. When they got to near the beginning of the second half, it was 20 points. I just needed a touchdown. Yep. That's all I needed. And so it lied. I mean, even though I played the under, I put the scoreline right at 54-55. So even if they scored 26 points, for example, if you score 26 points in each half, that's still 52. So that plays the under fine. So that's why I was like, 25 is really gettable. So I bet a unit instead of putting it, probably where my brain should have. Like I kind of overthought it a little too much.
Diversified his funds.
Yeah, thanks to you. Yeah, thanks to you. So I bet the over on the first half, and it actually had a shot to get there if Kittle didn't push off on the pass interference. So I was like, oh man, my over's got a chance, but then that went out the window. So I was like, well, there that goes, and I don't really believe in chasing, so I'm not gonna chase. I'm just gonna take what it is and not, just live with it, and that's what I did. I missed on the first half, but I did make 200 on the KC minus 1.5. Now, he hit all on his. He had 2 units on KC minus 1.5, and he had the teaser of KC plus 4.5 over 47.5.
Man,
that
close.
He was losing until that run by Damian Williams got in, and I high fived him. So I'm like, I was like, yeah, you got that over, you got it all. So he ends up in the positive. He ends up in the positive. I'm in the slight negative at the end of it. But I'll quickly go over.
Hey, you need to stop saying that, man. You had a good season, too.
I had a good season. I'm happy. It was better than minus 200 last year, that's for sure. So overall finish, I finished the season in individual picks, 54 and 22. Andrew's right behind me at 53 and 23.
Under 6.
Really good. Overall total bets and no sweat bets, I'm 12 and 9. Andrew got back into the positive with three hits, 11 and 10. And if you... and as you know, if you're in the positive side of betting, that usually means that you win. You're winning money. So both of us would have properly won money had we actually followed everything to the T. But I mean, that's just betting sometimes. And one of the things I'm gonna try and do over the off season is just
America, we have off season too.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I want to do is just try and reflect back, look at the numbers, and see why I would lose in some places versus win on other places. And part of that's variables. It's a sport. It's gambling. Things are going to happen. Who knows? I mean, you get unlucky with a last-minute fumble 6, i.e., us in the Cowboys.
I know you're not. No.
So there's that. Aaron Rodgers doesn't show up for 3 games. Just that's going to happen. But for the most part, I'm actually really happy with the results and with the way things went. Aren't you?
Well, I'd like to address something. While he's going to look back, I think both of us are going to look forward to this next season and seeing what teams we can capitalize on. But I would just like America to know that there's a former Texan who just got his Super Bowl. And I'm telling you, it's not a conspiracy theory. This is totally true. Anyone who joins the Texans, leaves the following year, Super Bowl, or wins the Super Bowl. The list goes on, man.
Yeah, Tyrann Mathieu adds his name to that list, and yeah, he makes it happen. And
I know it's not the NBA, but I'm also going to, while he's looking at his stats, what we did wrong and what we could have improved on.
Yeah,
I'm actually going to try out to be the new center for the Houston Rockets because I'm about like 6'1" on a good day, and PJ Tucker's only 4 inches taller than me. Like I think if he could be a center, I could definitely be a center. I got really good box out.
They still have Tyson Chandler.
Hey, I got some good foundations, man. I went to. What's his name?
So he couldn't get the job. He couldn't get Bill O'Brien's job. So now he's just going to play center for the Rockets.
Unbelievable, man. Yeah, that, and I just got a ticket coming here to shoot this video too. I was just like,
it was an hour ago, or half an hour ago. It's 10:30 p.m. here, local time here in Houston, and he sends me a text like, "Hey, step outside." And I see flashing red and blue, and I'm like, "Is that you?" He's like, "Duh." I'm like, "Oh my god."
I should have asked you to shoot a gun in the backyard so you could investigate. So while he went to investigate, I just pull up and say, "Okay, let's do this video real quick." There's no way he would have found you, man. Oh, but yeah. Anyways, we're during the off season. I think we'll kind of look back at the good times we had, really close calls that said, okay, what, like some things we tell you that we find value in just barely got there. I know
that happened a couple times that we were just during the season I had the Detroit money line in week 4 or 5 and I barely made that. I was 20 yards away from not making it. I was like, so that was a bit of a gamble that I took, and I think one of the things I want to do in the off season is kind of kind of tell you where our thinking comes from of why we bet certain ways, and then what the strategy is, where we feel like your insurance comes in. Like, if you think this team's going to win, if you think this underdog is going to win, adding 6-point teaser to it is only added is an insurance value to it. Now that backfires sometimes, but I want to go through things like that. I want to go through finding. I want to go through things like numbers, positive numbers, and everything like that. So that's stuff that's coming for the offseason. We're not going to shoot every week because it's not really necessary to do that unless the XFL gets really hot, and then So side note, if you want to bet XFL, start betting overs now because high scoring is coming. It's like college. It's gonna be like high scoring college games.
I'm gonna pump the brakes a little bit here. What? What? We have no idea what that season lies in store. We don't even have a forecast, Danny. Okay.
Well, there are numbers out there. There are lines out there already. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, I know.
I would honestly say I might get into it for the first 2 weeks if you can get me if Teddy will get me lines, but I think there's just gonna be a lot of high scoring.
Degenerate. Just take the offseason, man. Just take the offseason.
I'm gonna take the offseason, obviously.
Hey, be like me. Go to Disneyland. Have a cheeseburger. Anything.
I want a cheeseburger.
Oh my God, dude, the XFL.
Houston has a team.
This is true. Man, who knows? Maybe they'll be better than the Texans.
I know, right, dude?
Oh, no,
They won the championship before the Texans.
Holy shit. Stop, man. You're breaking my heart, man. You're breaking my heart, man. God. And you know what? During the Super Bowl, they took shots at the Texans, too. They had to remind everybody that KC was down. And that's also an amazing thing about KC that I got to give a shout out for, because they
came back from double digits 3 times.
It was unbelievable. It's like their opponents just left a controller on the table playing Madden, and they just ran with it. They're like, okay, and just that was it.
I think like NFL Network or somebody on Fox asked, like, hey, is one of the things in the playbook like start losing by double digits and then start playing?
Oh, that was an interview. Yeah, it's like
the interview. It's like Andy Reid, is this part of like what's in the playbook? Is you guys just fall behind by like 10 plus points and then you just turn it to another gear or something?
That response was so boss too. He was like, well, I didn't hear a word you just said, but yeah, the boys played hard. This and that.
Yeah,
he just gave the most generic answer ever.
You couldn't hear anything. It was so loud in the stadium.
Oh,
so
man.
You couldn't really hear anything.
And they had their parade today, man.
They did.
Yep. And they had a little epic WWE belt. Oh,
God, yeah. Kelsey had a WWE
belt.
Oh,
man. Maybe we should start betting on that, too. Live WWE results, man.
It's all pre-booked. They don't really let you bet on it because somebody could find what the results are going to be.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Playing money.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But so a few things to look forward to in the offseason. I recommended Andrew, if he has the time, that he get into fantasy football, because him and I are both, we're both in the same fantasy league, and it's always good to hear more information. I mean, we did finish 1 and 2 last season. So, I mean, you're getting good information from, 2 winners.
Yeah, shout out to DJ who watches our videos, tells us it's too long, and invites us to all these amateur leagues. So thanks, man. Really appreciate it. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, I'll keep hacking away at it, man. It was a great season for me.
Ooh, man, it was a good season for you. I mean,
120 in wins, and then championship win, 290. So
yeah, that's not bad.
I'm sitting pretty happy. I mean, overall, I did make money on the NFL season, counting fantasy football, so I'll take it. Take anything positive out of it.
Yep.
All right, here we go. We're moving on to the player props now. We'll go through all the stuff that I highlighted. I'll go through a few other ones, and of course, some of the stuff that Andrew highlighted as well. I wish we could have bet player props, because I would have made quite a good amount of money. I mean, you probably would have tagged along with me on.
Oh yeah,
on
for sure. There is some like no-brainer.
I think I missed 3 to 5 of these in total. I got a little unlucky with some of them. And that's gonna happen. I think you missed 2 or 3 yourself. But
George Kittle.
That's what happened, George Kittle. No,
pretty much got
they held him
bowled over.
46 points.
46 points.
46 yards, I think was the total. But so we'll go through this real quick. Will there be an extra point miss? Answer is no, minus 400. Yeah, I usually put up 4 to 1 to make easy money on that. Will Jimmy G's first pass be a completion or incompletion? It was complete, and it was a gimme. It was a little dinker. That was 4 yards, like I said.
Like you said.
Will Jimmy G throw an interception? What did I say?
We said, hell yeah. You said
two of them.
And you called it?
I called 2 of them, too. I called it. I said he's going to throw one early, which he did early in the second quarter, and he'd throw one late when he got desperate. And he did in the fourth quarter.
And I
Pay
said,
me my money.
Yeah. We said he would be exposed, so that was kind of true.
No, you were right. And he actually had a pretty solid game, but he didn't have an extraordinary game.
Right.
And when you're playing against Kansas City and you're playing against Patrick Mahomes, you need to have a really good game.
Yep.
In case he has a really mediocre game. And Mahomes had a mediocre game.
You need
honestly.
an answer. You need a score.
Yeah.
Every little driving possession, which I think that's going to be one of the next bets, you just need a score.
Yeah.
Put points on the board.
George Kittle's first reception, over under 11.5 yards. He went under because he caught his first pass, I think, was like 6 yards. So that was a gimme because he doesn't very often go out for something long. He does truck people every now and then, but I didn't think he would have an opportunity to get over 11 yards to get a big first down. Basically,
I think with that bet, it was the yards after the carry that
that's
gonna
what's,
factor in.
Yeah, but they're pretty tight on tight ends. First reception by Kyle Juszczyk, over under 3.5 yards. I called this. I said Juszczyk is very, very prominent in the game, and he'll get some kind of touches. He actually got 2 completions and a touchdown, which was nice. But he easily got
the missile flip.
Yeah, that first catch he got was a 12 yard touchdown, I think.
Yep.
So that was gimme. Will Patrick Mahomes throw an interception? We both said no. We thought he would actually have a careful game.
Oof.
First throw was a bad read, and he threw it right into the safety.
It's a coverage, yeah, just straight to it.
He actually had Hill on the comeback open, but he threw it in the wrong space, he threw it in the wrong area and went straight to the defensive back. So that one sucked. Second one was behind Tyreek Hill, and it popped off Hill's hands and was intercepted. So that was a little frustrating.
That's an interesting stat, by the way. After that interception, Vegas said the chance of San Fran winning that game after the Patrick Mahomes second interception, 96%.
Well, they missed the 4%, that's for sure.
96%, America. Wow, that's yo. You talking about 96 times out of 100? Oh, dude, this is the 4 times out of 100.
So the yes one on that plus 110. That one was rough. I didn't think he would have an interception. I thought he'd be careful.
All right.
First rushing attempt by Patrick Mahomes, over under 4.5 yards. Andrew picked that one.
Over and
easy.
A touchdown, baby.
And he got a touchdown.
That's right, dude. Oh man, he's an animal, dude.
He is.
I'm telling you.
Over under Travis Kelce's first reception, 10.5 under easily. He also got 4 yards on his first reception. Andrew got this one. Will the Chiefs convert their first third down attempt? He said yes. That paid off. Plus 140. Good choice, Mr. Chang.
Thank you, sir.
All right, will either team score 4 straight times? Heck no. Like I said, what wasn't happening. Team to score first, 49ers. Not the Chiefs, who we picked. Team to score last, Chiefs, thank God. So that was a miss. That was
thank the Lord they scored last.
Yeah, thank God for you. They scored the last 21 points, so yeah, that was that.
Is that not something else, man? That's,
yeah.
Over
under 3.5 field goals made by both teams. This one felt like a gimme after the first half because they were 3 field goals into the game. I was like, yeah, this is good. I mean, right after the first half, because it was like there were 3 field goals in. Like, I only need one more. Well, they never got one after that. I was like,
and the way they were playing, actually, it was
felt like there were more field goals coming.
Yep. And then I was like, oh, Danny got this prop bet too. And then I made a statement in the last video. I said, this Vegas number, sometimes they get numbers right down the middle.
They had it right on.
That was right in the middle because I think the actual was 3.
Yeah, the correlation was right in my opinion, but it wasn't executed properly because in and under, usually you're going to get more field goals, and that actually didn't really happen.
You can thank Mr. Shanahan. He probably could have squeezed you that extra field goal.
He probably would have had the 4th field goal if they weren't so conservative at the end of the first half. It was really stupid, in my opinion.
Yep.
Total touchdowns by both teams, under 6.5. That was my choice because, again, correlation, I expected it to be a low-scoring game, which it was. Or low-ish scoring game. So it was right at 6 touchdowns. Largest lead of the game by either team, 14.5 points. Again, correlates with the under. Close game. Biggest lead was never more than 10 points.
11.
11. End of the game.
That was solid.
Yeah.
That was solid. That was a solid.
That was. I mean, but that goes with everything. If you analyze the game to be under close scoring, like I called 6 to 8 points. I think you said 10 to 12 points would be the final difference. I think you said that, and he got it instead of me. The last minute touchdown covers it. So,
thank you, Damian Williams.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
thank you.
Keep praising him.
You're the MVP of my heart, bro. You're the MVP of my heart. If you're watching out there.
Will the Chiefs score a touchdown in the fourth quarter? Yes, minus 180. That was a good pick on you. They scored 3.
But they needed to. I was just like, man, you all need to score.
The safety props. Will there be a safety? No. Will there be one in the first half? No. Second half? No. Will there be overtime? Hell no. Again, I figured at some point. No, because I figured at some point there would be like a weird number, i.e. 4, which is what happened. That 4 would show up at some point. So that's what you're looking for. Total interceptions by both teams over 1.5. 4 interceptions in the game. Again, Jimmy G covered it on his own. So that was my prediction. 2 interceptions by Jimmy G covers that. That was plus 130. That was a gimme. Again, I wish I could have bet props. Oh my God, I would have made so much money.
Yep.
Will there be a 2-point conversion? This one hurt. I said yes because I was expecting at least enough variation in the game for there to be a 2-point conversion. So I missed on the no, and then the successful 2-point conversion was also a no because I also said yes on it because it never happened. Will the game be tied after 0-0? I said yes. Of course, it was tied 10-10.
That was a good
and that killed. So, will there be at least one scoreless quarter? God, no. God, no.
Nope.
That was terrible.
There was not.
That was terrible. I mean, it's 5.5, minus 550, but I mean, there's enough scoring from both teams that you figured there would at least be a field goal.
Man, minus 550.
Yeah, minus 550. But you have to put up juice sometimes.
That would have been a doozy.
Yeah, that would have been a doozy if it hurt, but I knew there was going to be scoring in the game. Total rushing yards by Jimmy G, over under 3.5. So I looked up the stats of Jimmy G right before the game. And I looked it up, and I realized he only had rushed for 64 total yards in the season, which is kind of weird. I thought he was a little more athletic, didn't you?
Yeah, but I mean, just like the way he plays, and I think both of us called this. I said both of these teams are not gonna get away from what they're good at.
Yeah, I know.
They're
but
still
I
just
figured
gonna be
he
like,
might scramble
hey,
for
end
something.
zone, here you go.
I thought he might scramble for something. So he actually hit 3 yards and was 3.5, so that missed.
That was lucky too, because they were about to level him, and he
they
just
were
went out.
Level.
He just went out. I was like, woo!
And then I also thought, with the correlation of that, if you think he's going to get more than 3.5 rushing yards, then his longest rusher is going to be over 2.5, and we got that one wrong as well. So that one hurt. Total touchdown passes by Jimmy G, over under 1.5. Damn right it was going to be under. Now he did throw the first one to use check, but I mean, I was like, that's the only one he's going to get. There's no way he's going to get another one. He had a chance, though. He had a chance in that fourth quarter, and he overthrew it. So that's his own fault.
Yeah. For those of y'all who don't believe, man,
Believe.
You got to believe. Got to believe.
Total rushing yards by Raheem Mostert. Again, follows my under and the correlation in the game. They will stop the run, in which they did. He didn't get more than 60 yards rushing.
Wow.
Easily hit it.
Dang. He still got the touchdown, though.
He got the touchdown, but I wasn't banking on. I figured he would punch one in because they would get close enough, but I didn't think he would get over 74 yards.
My great fantasy pickup, man.
Yeah.
My great fantasy pickup. Yeah, I sure did.
Will Kyle Juszczyk have one rushing attempt? Usually he does at the goal line. He did not. He only caught 2 passes. So that one hurt. That was minus 400 for the no, by the way, so I would have lost some money on that.
Yep.
Will George Kittle score a touchdown?
Man.
Andrew said yes, plus 130, and I didn't blame him, man. I mean, Kittle's a good guy to throw to.
Yeah.
They just went to the fullback instead. So that would have cost him only 100 because that was plus 130.
Whew.
All right, where else? All right, total different number of players to have a pass reception over under 7. This was 7 right on the money.
Damn. That was something else.
Yeah, that one hurt. So that's a push when it comes back. Total points by San Francisco. Again, correlates to my under, 27.5. I picked under for the total score. Thus, San Francisco scores less than 27.5, which they did. They only got 20. Pay me my money.
Damn, dude.
Total rushing yards by San Francisco. I actually should have really double checked this, but I actually think they got slightly over because Deebo Samuel got a bunch of jet sweeps.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he got a bunch of jet sweeps. So I think they barely got it over. That sucked because when you look at the stat line, I actually think Samuel had more rushing yards than Mostert. So they did a
very
really good
easily
job.
swung.
Yeah, they did a really good job. Total rushing yards by Patrick Mahomes. So I actually miscalculated this. This was 31.5, and I miscalculated this, but because at the end of the game, they went victory formation and knelt the ball a ton, Mahomes actually lost 15 yards, and so his total was 30.
Oh, so it didn't go through?
It didn't go through.
Damn, man.
That one sucked. There were a lot of sharps cursing because of that.
But I mean, but that guy has, he's got legs. He knows how to use them. So, and the other postseason games, he's just finds a way to just walks in, man.
He averages something like 50 yards a game. So it was a very fair thing to choose. So he had it. He really had it, and then just victory formation, stepping back a couple times cost you yards and yards and yards. So it kind of sucks, but that is what it is. Can't be helped. Total rushing yards by Damian Williams, over 52.5. Oh my God. I was telling him this. So what I found out 2 days before the game, or a day before the game, is DraftKings took a $250,000 bet on the under. And so just me being a little bit of contrarian, and I have a feeling of how this game's going to go, I'm like, this over's a gimme. He almost hit the over by the first half. By the end of the first half, he was at like 45. I think he was at 45, and then middle of third quarter, he had gotten it. And this is one of the ones I actually asked him, like, can you get me this prop? Because I'm going to make money on this prop if you give it to me.
That and the Mahomes rushing yard.
Yeah, the rushing, that was the other one. I was like, okay, I'm glad I didn't get that one. I mean, it was in line, but it wasn't there.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But Williams actually almost doubled this, his rushing total. But again, I knew he would have a really good chance at getting in rushing, and he did. And I was like, this over's. I was like, there it is. It's like that's money that I can't.
We'll be shooting live from Vegas next year.
Actually, speaking of live, I was trying to live stream at. We were actually at Sage 400 at the bar, and I wanted to live stream at halftime, updating you guys where we were at, and I couldn't do it. It sucked.
Yeah, in case you didn't want to watch two beautiful women shake their little behinds on TV. You could just watch. Two Asians talk numbers.
Bar just talking.
Oh wow. Yeah, that was a real no-brainer right there, Danny. Our viewers went to the roof for that one.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. This is both of us. Will Travis Kelce score a touchdown? God, yeah. You gave us plus money, plus 110 on Travis Kelce scoring. Yeah, he's going to score.
You got to fight for your right to Lombardi. That's what he said.
Total rushing yards by KC. Damian Williams covered this on his own with 104 total rushing yards. 90.5 plus Mahomes. That was easy. Total QB sacks by the Chiefs defense. This was 2.5. They did not get 2.5 sacks on Jimmy G. They only got 2.
That's right. Vegas got that right.
All right, who throws an interception first? Jimmy G or Patrick Mahomes? Jimmy G.
Whew.
Of course.
We both said Jimmy G, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because we didn't think that Patrick Mahomes would get an interception.
More rushing yards, Jimmy G or Patrick Mahomes, minus 26.5. We lose on this because of the lost yardage. Otherwise, Mahomes would have had this. So that one hurt.
Damn.
Jersey number of player to score first touchdown. Over, under 26.5. He picked the under. I picked the over. Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes getting
Mahomes
it in.
Mahomes got it in. I mean, I went with the numbers, and I had a shot. Not Damian Williams. I had a shot. I thought I had Kelce, but he punched it in.
Oh.
Yeah. Lowest scoring quarter by both teams, 3.5. That was a gimme again. I'm expecting a little bit more scoring. None of the quarters got under 10 points. Easy money.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get finally to the MVP. Patrick Mahomes. He picked Patrick Mahomes. Not who we both thought should have. We really thought it was Damian Williams, and I said Damian Williams is probably my number one choice.
What was the odds?
14-1.
Oh, that would have been good, man. That would have been great. Wow. And then my line, Patrick Mahomes was just even.
Money. I mean, I think it was anywhere from even money to plus 120, I think, were the total lines on there. So that one was pretty close to getting.
But
hit.
on another issue of controversy, it's like really like Patrick Mahomes got the MVP.
I mean, I get it because he led those 3 drives. He led those 2 drives.
I mean, no doubt. I mean, it's deserved, but at the same time,
it's tough because an interesting stat I heard is that Damian Williams completed something like 11 rushing attempts were either for first downs or touchdowns.
Damn.
Yeah.
Dude.
Extra efficient. Something like that. Something that I read. And he was good. He was like making cuts and making people look stupid.
Oh, the last one was the best, dude.
Yeah, it was a one cut. I saw a breakdown of it, and the entire offense made it look like he was going to run in the middle, and all he does is take a one cut to the outside and off tackle. Outside, and he takes it up and he accelerates
out of there.
And I just remember being like game, and he's like,
I
didn't make money, but I'm glad you made money, dude. So you go get it, man. I'm happy if you make money.
Oh man, hey, we were both like that. You know what? As bad it was for me, like. Again, with the totals, you always want the totals to be your number one priority. And that's one of the reasons why.
I don't. I take the spread as my number one priority.
Well, even if you had a teaser, which is teasing the NFL, like you want your totals to get there first. I mean, if the over doesn't get there, you're dead in the water.
See, but that's the thing. I mean, when you're playing the under like I would have if I had done my job, then I probably would have felt comfortable by the first quarter.
Oh, the under? Yeah, the under looked good. I mean, if I would have bet Casey in the under, I would have just like, okay.
Yeah.
Then I would just all right, like KC needs to like kind of score and this and that. But,
and that's what you were telling me. Like I need more. And you had almost given up on it in that last one, and then he breaks it. He breaks to the left, and he's like, "Oh, I got it!"
I was like, "Oh yes, dude, yes." I was like, "How can this go into overtime? Like, we got to do this safety, we got to do that, we got to do this." And,
yeah.
And that
it's funny to watch him do squares too. We're like trying to calculate the squares that he has.
No, don't bring up my
he's
squares,
because he's like, "Oh, I got 7 and 0. I got it backwards too." And he's like, "I got 2 and 3." I'm like, "You're not getting 2 and 3. Sorry, man." Or 4. Did you have a 4 and 7?
Yeah, I had something like that.
Yeah, you had something like that.
I had
We had some bad ones. So I'm like, you're not gonna hit any of these.
I had way too many, and none of them were there.
Dude, yeah, the 0-0 squares killed. They killed the second quarter, and the third quarter. And then 0-1 at the end, and then 7 and 3 was the first quarter.
None of those were mine, America.
Man, 0-0. I was like, man, that is eating it up right now.
Tough season for squares, man.
Yeah, this is why I don't play squares. It's a little too much of a luck factor, and because that's why I like sports betting with spreads and totals, because you can take information that the teams give you. You can look at player stats and things like that and be able to say, well, this offense versus this defense is going to produce this, because the defense is going to play like this, and then the offense will adjust this. So that's why 2 weeks worth of analysis for me gave me KC under.
Oh, man.
And it was spot on.
Super, like we said, so much information just out there. And then, it was so crazy. People were just like, oh, man, it's going to be San Francisco. It's going to be San Francisco. It's going to be San Francisco. And everyone I kind of asked, I was just like, it was kind of right down the middle. I was just like, okay.
I heard more KC personally. Now, I'd also been listening to and watching a lot of betting shows, and everybody was saying that the public was on KC and the sharps were sliding a little more towards San Francisco, just because you're going to take a little bit of plus value. But I mean, in my own analysis, I was sitting there. I was like, no, this is KC. This is all KC. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
It took them 3.5 quarters.
Woo! But man, sure as the sun will rise tomorrow. They showed up in the fourth quarter.
And then the under just felt right. Even just under 54 and a half. It just felt right. I'm just like, if I'm analyzing more field goals, better 2 good defenses, that really means that I'm going to get under 54.5 points, and then getting the guarantee of getting a guarantee of 6 more points at 60.5 or 59.5 made it that much easier. But I at that point I was texting him and I said I just want I don't want to have to deal with a teaser this time. I don't want to deal with totals because totals can nip you in the butt every now and then.
Yep. Once you're tied into it, man, you're tied into it.
Super Bowl feels different, and for some reason, I was sitting there, I was sitting on the couch, and I'm like, well, they're gonna make up for last year's non-existent touchdowns, so I'm a little scared it's gonna be like 8+ touchdowns.
Did they?
They did. They made up for it a little bit. They made up for it a little bit. Yeah. So, but I was like, okay, just give me Casey to win. Just give me them to win, and they did. And that's exactly what I was looking for.
That should have been the solid bet, and I think the no sweat bets we were sweating, and
you were.
Yeah, I was
you're
for
about
sure.
crying
Like,
at that point. You were about crying at that
God,
point. I kept saying my under's good. My under's good. I just need Casey to win now.
Man.
And then Damian Lewis, boom. He's like, I got it.
Yep. But your under was still good?
The under was fine. First
Over
quarter,
under
all I had to
teasers.
do was watch the first quarter. The first quarter was exactly what I thought the game would pretty much go. And it would be close, it would be lower scoring, and at some point it would open up in the fourth quarter. And it did. And of course, KC opened it up.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, man. It was good.
It was fun. I definitely can't wait to do all this for next season.
What a season, man. What a season.
It was a great season. I mean, if you're looking at it, I mean, we had really great picks. We also had some really questionable picks at the same time. But, I mean, 54-22, 53-23. I mean, if you can properly put your teasers together, man, you're going to make some good money. I mean, we had really great weeks. Christmas week.
16?
Christmas weekend. Was
16 or 15?
What?
Our really good one.
That's
really
when
we
week
won.
16. Week 16.
Oh, well, and a combination of that, first of all, we are fantasy football geniuses.
I'm a genius.
Definitely send us the invites to your leagues. We only play for money. Sorry. And then, on top of winning, we also won all of our bets. And I think, was it Saturday? It was what, Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And hit.
Yeah.
So that was
that was the week. We went 4-0 on no bets and actual bets. It was too easy. It was too easy. It was too easy that week. I'm like, I'm gonna make money on this. We both went 4-0 and it was perfect.
Is this the week that we're seeing right now?
That's the week 16. Yeah, Christmas weekend. San Francisco, Green Bay for me. The no sweat bet was San Francisco -half, Green Bay +11, San Francisco -half, Buffalo +12. Saturday game was Buffalo +12.5 and San Francisco -0.5. Easy money.
I can't believe I bet on Green Bay, man.
Sunday, you didn't. Yeah, and you didn't want to bet the New Orleans game because you weren't really sure about it. But I said I want New Orleans with plus money, so I'll take that. And then Buffalo. Baltimore.
Did we not take the over on that?
No, I wasn't betting over on any of that.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean these are all spread lines that were given, and then Baltimore -4.5, get them under a touchdown. That was a win for them. And then Sunday to Sunday night, Monday night combination, Kansas City over Chicago -1.5, Green Bay +11. And Green Bay actually just won that game, so that didn't matter because I knew Kirk Cousins would fail at Monday Night Football. So what a shock! Man. And then the money line in that game 210. We got it at 185, and I was like, why didn't I bet the money line on it, man? So I'm trying to get a little bit better at betting money lines, but I failed. Tough. I failed at my money lines a few too many times, and I don't know if I'm going to do it as much.
Miami money line next year.
Yeah.
That would be dope.
One of the lessons I'm trying to learn is that if I get over 20 points in a spread teaser, I'm going to take it. And then I was brilliant in week 17 with my picks. I was 14-2 that weekend. Because I called over.
Man.
Except Washington.
Oh yeah, you did a lot of totals.
Yeah, it was totals because I didn't like the fact that they were benching people. So I'm like, well, backups can score points, and backup defenders give up a lot of points. So there you go. So that was a good one. But
is that the week that Houston lost to Denver?
No, that was week 15.
Oh my God.
Is it? No, that was week 16.
Anyways, looking at the past, moving forward onto next season, during the off season, yeah, I think we'll still keep posting like little, maybe, I don't know, it's the direction of what this creator wants to do.
Yeah, so what we're looking to do is we're gonna change the background. We're gonna move it off of the bar. We're gonna move into the studio that I have, and we'll have appropriate backgrounds and everything. But we're gonna keep shooting at the bar until that gets done. And what I want to do is start doing more kind of, not exactly like sports betting 101, but like teaser 101s. Like, I want to go through exactly what a teaser does, where the value is, how we think it's insurance, and where it gives you value over critical numbers like 3, 4, 6, 7, 10. And I want to go through a little bit of that and give you guys examples of where the value is coming with a teaser versus what we did this weekend, and bet just the straight money, just a straight spread line of 1.5. So that's one of the things I want to do. If Andrew gets more time, I want him to do fantasy football feature, because you're like a really high energy stuff, and I want you to be able to go through it. And I'm probably going to do some of it as well, just because I think it's good to have more content. And so at least in the 2 months before fantasy football drafts, I'm probably going to do some previews of stuff of what I like and strategies that I'm coming up with, because you can ask him. I was preparing for our draft like in May. And I won the league, so preparation helps you.
This man is way too old to be in school. He's been doing all this homework, doing all this stuff, and I think that brings a little.
It makes you a better player. It makes you a better.
Versus me, who
I'm going with it.
You know, I'll just bust
Give me
down the
Todd
door.
Gurley in the first round. Give me Todd
here.
Gurley in the first round.
That's right. that was my first thing. And,
terrible, dude.
And what I make up with, I stole Lamar in the 7th.
Yeah, you stole Lamar in the 7th, but you could have had you could have had Zeke. You could have had Chubbzilla.
Didn't need it.
You needed 7 points.
Oh my God!
Remember that.
And it was old man Larry Fitzgerald. But I think through the start and the conception of the show, even though Danny runs it, there's definitely two different styles. The way you look at it, you have like the hardcore, the sharps, the people who want the facts. They don't want any nonsense. They don't want any emotions. They don't need any stories. That's Danny's crowd right there. And I think my crowd, the people who tune in, and it was like, hey, dude, what is that big dum-dum? Like, what is he going to say? You know, it's like, I couldn't give you any reasons why Philadelphia covered their lines. Like, I mean, they're just
that was easy. That was easy. When they played the Cowboys, that was easy to
cover.
That was easy to cover.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, why do I think that Philadelphia? They were just a mediocre team this year, and all of a sudden they were just Oh, you can't say they were like
they were
fair
enough.
Very, very.
No, but you have to. Sometimes you have to go off of gut feeling, and for as much analysis as you're going to do, sometimes your gut just says it's going to be this way. So for the Super Bowl, my gut said KC running game is going to be better than the San Francisco running game. Albeit Deebo Samuel kind of proved that wrong, but for the most, like, running backs did much better. Your KC running backs did much better than the San Francisco running backs. And so that is just pure gut feeling.
Oh.
There were plenty of people who said KC's defense sucks. I was like, no, they're solid. They're super solid. Watch them show up in this game, and they definitely...
I don't know. Have they not heard of Eric Berry? Like... that defense was pretty good like a couple of years back too.
And he wasn't even on the team this year.
Yeah, I know, right? And who was on? Suggs was on.
Suggs was
right?
a late pickup.
Was that not crazy? He jumped ship at the right time because
he's like, I want my Super Bowl.
Somebody thought Lamar Jackson was gonna go all the way, and
he's like, no, I want
it
my
did not happen. And then
I want my homie.
He still got one too.
All right. Do you have any regrets in the season this year, other than betting with Aaron Rodgers too many times?
I was just about to touch base on that. America, if you have been cooking a stew for all these games and you refuse to taste it, that's on you. I did not listen. You know what, Danny, as much convincing as we do to this show and the information that's put out, I thought Danny put a great excuse for his boy Aaron Rodgers. And
give me help. It's what I've got to go with.
Yeah, and then I was just like, oh man, like really? I'm like, I said that in the video. Like I said that, and then it came to bite me in the ass. But at times there are these feelings of like ill and just you just gotta listen to it. If something doesn't feel right, then maybe you could just skip out. No one's forcing you.
Yeah,
to
nobody's
bet these
forcing
games,
you. Now, I'm gonna force myself a little bit. I'm a degenerate, and I want to at least prove to you guys that I'm at least putting some of my ass on the line by putting
there's a number right down there.
I'm not putting
right down there.
Oh,
down there. Call it if you need any help. I think if this channel gets any bigger,
buy all my picks, please call me.
If this channel gets any bigger, we need to put that down on the bottom, the 1-800 number. But if you've been stewing on something, if you've been seasoning the soup all season long, just listen to it. Commit.
You have to commit.
Be a person of conviction.
Yeah.
All right.
And be okay with your losses. Be okay with your wins as well. Obviously, celebrate your wins, but be okay with your losses. I mean, honestly, I'm still gonna go with the idea of Aaron Rodgers. You give me over 10 points with Aaron Rodgers, I gotta take it. I gotta take it. Now it killed me twice. But week 16 it worked out great for me because they smoked the Vikings, and you bet them with me.
Yep, that's true.
We also got
only because Kirk Cousins cannot win a Monday night game,
and we took him in the
and
very
I was
first
just like,
game.
oh
The very first Thursday night game was the very first game of the season, and we took Aaron Rodgers on a teaser, which you were so scared. Like, oh, I want the over. I'm like, dude, this game is gonna go so far under. You have no idea. Game was 3-10 or 13-7, something like that. The game went.
And you expected that guy to win the Super Bowl? No.
Yeah.
Hell no.
No, I expected him to cover 10 points.
Hell.
That's what I expected him to do. I thought he had a shot because it's Aaron Rodgers. He has a shot, but now I have to be a little more careful. With
Hell to the no. That name doesn't mean anything anymore.
I have to be a little careful with Aaron Rodgers for the next season, but that's all coming with analysis. If I have one regret in looking back on it, it's probably not going with my gut enough, especially earlier in the season. The other thing
that's kind of both of our.
Yeah. The other thing I regret is kind of over analysis at the same time. So earlier on in the season, Andrew was really smart in jumping on the KC train and the New England train. I didn't always like that. So I was with them on some of them, but other ones I was like, I'm not, no. Because I was like, yeah, it's gonna happen, but I like this more, and then it bit me in the ass. So I was like, okay, I got to take what's obvious, and that goes back to if I like a game and I like one side already as it is, give me the teaser, and that's even more of a cushion that I get. So that's the other thing I'm looking for. Other than that, I'm in the negative $40, but I'm happy.
That is not a negative, America. That's like going to the casino.
Basically, all I did was pay off
your
juice.
drinks.
All I did is pay off the juice. That's all I did. I paid my bookie his juice. That's it.
Yeah,
and you're in the positive, so that's good.
And I was able to have a couple cheeseburgers and some stuff like that. But overall, you only bet as much as you want to lose, and I think we did a pretty good job at just.
Yeah, I didn't overextend myself. The lowest you and I were. What was the lowest you were at in the season?
I think I was
the lowest I was at was 300 something.
I think there was one week where I was just
you were
hitting.
down 4.
I was hitting, and then all of a sudden I bombed. I was like, minus like 440.
Yeah, you were minus 440. And then he goes, I gotta chase. And then he goes, I gotta chase on Monday night with the Patriots. Like, that's a terrible idea to chase. But I'm like, whatever, it's your money, man. And that was the start. That was the start.
Got it.
Yeah, that was the start.
But it could have just very been the other way too. So, but that's.
Oh, one of the other things I'm very proud of, and I know people are scared to do it, but you have to sometimes step in front of the train and be willing to stop it.
Yeah.
So thank you, Tom Brady, for being old and letting me stand in front of your train. Because, man, it feels good to step in front of that train and be like, y'all guys ain't going to win.
Yo, I mean, after that man has won you so much money, you're going to disrespect the GOAT just like that?
Disrespect, it's the
truth.
Oh,
my God,
When you give me, I will go back to this always. When you give me +9 with Patrick Mahomes against New England, you damn right I'm going to take Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I would take that too.
You did. We took the bet.
Yeah, I was just like,
we took it together and we won.
Like I said, they were close last year, and I'm just like, yo, this defense cannot stop.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's Brady, it's Belichick. They're coming off a loss, and it's in Gillette. I'm like, I don't care. The Chiefs are a much better team.
Dog, that was unreal.
That was a much better team. I was like, yeah.
My one regret is that we didn't bet Miami against
Money line.
the Patriots. You know what? I think it's happened in 2 straight seasons when the Patriots faced the Dolphins in their second game.
Give them an issue.
And the second game, it's always the second game. You remember?
It was
last year.
Yeah, it was the lateral thing at the end. Yeah. And Gronk falling over his feet.
And we didn't do the show like last year, but at the same time, it's like, yo, could you imagine that line?
Imagine that line.
And then we were just looking at this here.
No, this was crazy because New England was at home in Week 17, and they just needed to win.
Oh my God,
it's insane.
And I think
because I was texting you. I was like, dude, Miami might win this game. They're like ahead right now, dude.
And I think that really changed some of the playoff dynamics.
I mean, it changed the dynamics,
sure.
but all you have is New England gets the bye, KC goes to third. New England still faces KC in the end because what would have happened is KC would have played the Titans in the first round. KC would have been fine. Same result except it was in the championship. And then New England plays KC in the divisional round, and I still feel KC is going to win it. So I don't feel like it changes anything outside of the order of what things go because the only difference you have is you probably have KC versus Baltimore in the championship final. That's all you have.
That would have been
it's still KC. It's still KC.
I'm just going to say, I give props to that Titans defense. They stopped Lamar. They were ready.
Yeah, they were ready, and they controlled the game. So.
But I'm just saying, like that really changed everything. And then I remember, I remember so many of these fair weather Texans fans just saying, "Oh well, we might lose to the Bills," which we almost did. But we had
didn't matter.
We
bet the Bills, so that didn't matter.
We bet the Bills too.
We were sitting pretty cushy after a while.
It was.
That was a fun wild card weekend. How did we do that weekend? We did pretty well. Buffalo, Tennessee. Oh, we lost on the New Orleans game. That's right.
That was. Oh man, Kirk Cousins liked that.
Yeah, he did like that. Sorry, I made it for it the next week.
You sure did. I didn't though. Oh wait, no, was it? Oh, okay, yeah.
What?
I think that was the week where
that was the week where you did terrible.
Oh yeah,
that was like one of your worst weeks.
Man.
I mean, I had it pegged perfectly.
I had to apologize to America for just like, oh man, this is why he's on the show. He's just here for comedic efforts and.
You are on the show a little bit for the comedic fun. I mean, I'm a little too straightforward. I'm a little boring sometimes, but
right here.
You're here for the fun. You're here for the fun,
right
man.
Here, dude. You don't even have food up here for me anymore, guys.
I never had food for you. I barely
hair,
had food for myself.
Makeup.
I'm unemployed right now.
New season, new us. If you want to do our hair, you have some gear that you want on the show, just inbox this guy right here since I'm not a socialite.
Yeah, you can any comments that you have, put them down below in the comment box. Of course, if you can, subscribe, like this video, and if you have any questions or anything like that, you can email this channel at nfltees@gmail.com.
And
complain about how terrible he is or how boring I am or
maybe
how stupid our ideas of using teasers. I don't care. I want to hear it all and I want to prove y'all wrong.
I always like to leave a note in the suggestion box. So we definitely need a nice little blooper reel for this year.
I don't want to do that.
Someone doesn't want to cut and edit. There's plenty. There was just like 4 that happened on this shoot. 4 in one shoot. But I think overall it was a great season. There's going to be new exciting things in this upcoming season. Pretty excited, pretty stoked. And if I do have time, which I will try to make time for these nice little fantasy inputs.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
And we'll see. I think, might be a nice little format change. I don't know. It's up to our boss man right here. But maybe into podcasting,
we're gonna come up with new ideas. I still don't know if I want this to be a long run of information or if I want to go a game by game breakdown and do like 12 different videos.
Bite-sized portions.
Yeah, because I think that's really great. But I like the idea that we cover everything and then we give you the best choice or at least our best opinion of the week. That's what I like.
Yeah. And if you want us to call out some sharps with our ratings.
Yeah, I did it once and failed, so that I'm not calling anybody out again. I might just quote.
I'll call out Shannon Sharp.
God, Shannon Sharp's an idiot.
Oh man, don't say that. He was running Casey all year long
until the Super Bowl. He's like, I like San Francisco. I was like, no.
And that was his mistake. Why? Because he's not a man of conviction, and he did not taste the soup. He was seasoning all year long.
I was on them so good by week 16.
Oh, man,
my futures bet. All I needed was my futures bet. I wouldn't have had to bet anything else if I had had my damn futures bet.
This is very true.
So
that tea was good.
And who knows? By next season, I may have a booking account on a small one, and then we can actually reflect on what actually happens.
That's scary.
I know it's really scary.
Giving the keys to the car to a teenager who's 13.
I know. See, this is why I'm happy to have you as a book or have Teddy as a book, because I don't have to pay anything. I can just give you the money and not worry about taxes or anything.
Oh man, so. you got plenty of other stuff to worry about than your own
we could do like 10-way parlays.
Oh man,
we could do like a 10-game parlay.
And we do action reverses, round robins. Yeah. We got it all.
Oh man, teaser round robins are great. Actually, teaser round robins aren't bad. If you knew 3-team round robins, not bad.
Oh God, stop.
Okay, I'll stop.
God. But it's been a hell of a season.
It's been a great season, and next season can only get better. Now, I'm looking forward to getting better, but there will be plenty of people out there who say you're gonna have seasons where you're doing well and seasons that you're not. So I'm actually kind of curious to see if we have any improvement next year, what our record is, and of course we're gonna keep track of it, and we're gonna have a full season. I mean, we started in week 14 when I came up with the idea a month before that, and I finally said, well, let's just go for it and try it out.
Yeah. And then
so I want to see what it's like to have week 1 all the way to the Super Bowl. And if we're stupid, preseason, which I'm not.
Oh,
but we will preview the preseason at least, because that's good content.
Preseason.
Yeah, the preseason's great content.
Oh, so you wouldn't do preseason, but you'll do the XFL.
I said the first 2 weeks. I'm feeling overs right now. Dude. I mean, if I can get a line that's like 50, under 55, I'm gonna take an over. I gotta look at it though. I haven't seen it. But yeah, I mean, the XFL has so many different rules. It's like college.
Why don't you just bet arena football?
Because I don't know arena football.
Well, you don't know anything about the XFL either. How about that?
I know the rule changes. I know it's it's scoring heavy, and there's going to be just as much scoring as a college football game, if not more. Dude, there's a 3-point conversion. There is a 3-point conversion in the XFL. So that means now an 18-point lead is 2 scores. Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's just not the same. How much of these? What is the max contract out there for the XFL? Do you know?
I don't give a shit.
You don't know if these guys can be bought.
No. Oh God, it's Vince McMahon.
Oh, whatever.
He doesn't get bought.
Whatever.
He competes.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure.
Anyways, that's just something I had an idea on, and I'm actually, I'm looking. You're always looking for different angles and ways to get an advantage. Now, I don't recommend betting the entire season unless you just know the XFL and know the numbers. But early on, it's like over. It was like overs in KC games. You knew the game was going to go over because the lines hadn't adjusted properly in the first 6 weeks of the season. So you could tease an over in a KC game down to something like 49, 48, 45, depending on who they were playing. So yeah, it's the same correlation you have in the XFL. And so that's why I say you can. And I might look into it.
If he gets the lines.
Yeah, if I get
it. If I don't stop
or if I don't open my own account,
Oh God, please don't.
But there's plenty to look forward to in the coming months. Look for, background changes, content, new content, different content, fantasy football, draft, and then we'll get into the preseason and season.
Different hairstyles, different wardrobes. I might actually become the center of the Houston Rockets.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I know. You're pretty close to 6'6", so yeah.
Pretty close. I'm only like 6 inches away.
Yeah, just get some extra. Just get some.
I got the air. I got air in my Jordans. Don't you worry about my hops, bro. Don't you worry about my hops.
Oh man. Oh. But until then, it'll be probably a couple weeks to a month. I at least want to do at least one video a month, just on information, or I kind of want to preview the draft in March and April. That's kind of fun because you can kind of bet on the draft a little bit, but I just like doing that stuff. And then fantasy football over the summer, other information, and then once we get the new background up, I can give you guys a preview of that as well. But until the next video, that'll be coming either end of February or beginning of March for Andrew Chang, winner of the season, positive winner this season.
Holding up the trophy.
There you go.
That's a kiss right there.
Go get it.
That's the kiss right there. That's right. That's right. Post edit. Yeah.
And
need someone for that too.
People please convince him to get a Twitter account so we can both be on Twitter and you guys can yell at us.
Oh man. So maybe we'll get into some shenanigans in the off season. Yeah. Might post that too. So just be on the lookout.
Yeah, so keep Andrew Chang. Keep just get a Twitter account, man.
Above added projection 69.
No, please get something a little more appropriate.
Well, that's my birthday, man.
I know.
Whatever.
Okay, thank you, Andrew Chang. For Daniel Saludo, Andrew Chang out here. What a great Super Bowl it was.
Yes.
And even though we aren't betting anymore, still, it's good to be a tease.